Hello and welcome to the Candlelight Podcast, where I, Mohamed Abdalla, talk about different topics, including some of my favorites, which are movies, martial arts, and philosophy. Let's start with this week's quote, guys. Failure to plan is planning to fail. Now, that is a quote by yet another founding father, Benjamin Franklin, a founding father of the United States, obviously. And it really encapsulates a very important concept, which is planning. When you do not plan, you technically are planning to fail. It's very true because say you have a full day of tasks you need to get over with, you need to get done, and you don't plan on which one you do first and what you do next, and there's just no planning. You're basically planning to fail because you're not going to get through all of these important tasks if you don't have a proper schedule or proper idea of what to start with and what to move on to after that. So, failure to plan is planning to fail. You need to have something there that's a basis that is at least a reference for you to go through and understand what you're gonna do and what you're gonna do after that. And the reason I picked this quote is because I sometimes kind of suffer from this, not planning, which is basically something that kind of ruins my day, because I do need to plan in order to get through my daily tasks, whatever I have to do. And if I don't, I generally don't even finish them. So it's like maybe half of them I do. Let's say I need to, fill up the car and do this homework and then record the podcast and, do whatever it is that I need to do. I most of the time, follow this quote and make a day with a daily planner that's on my phone. But which is basically the notes on my phone. I don't really use an app for that, an app that is extra. So if I do not make this planner, I generally don't necessarily, achieve all my goals. So I have to plan because I have to understand, I have to instill myself this idea of failure to plan is planning to fail. Say I have a workout and I don't even know what I'm going to do, throughout the workout. I have an hour-long workout, which I don't really plan. I just kind of go with the flow. The hour is generally up before I even finish the workout. So I need to know what I'm doing. I need to go through the bullet points, get it done. That's something that's really important. And it really is important for something that I'm doing right now, which is, Ramadan. It's the month of Ramadan. Oh, this is as of this Saturday that this video is going up on. Ramadan is 5 days in. 5 days in out of a potential 30 or 29, depends on the moon. So we need to really plan for this month in order to reap the full benefits of it. This month is basically like an open safe, an open bank vault, and the money is all sitting inside, and you have like 30 days to just grab as much as you can and get out. That's basically what this month is. The benefit and the reward and all that you can get, in those 30 days is equivalent to that of, an open bank vault. You can just take whatever you want and go. Nobody would say no to that. Nobody would be like, nah, I'm just going to sit out here, maybe go in, take whatever. No, you're going to go and rush in and take as much as you can and leave. So yeah, it's only like 30 days in a year, so we better make the most of it. And that's what I'm doing. And some of the plans that I've put up, some of course short term, which is the daily plans, and some long term, which is the entire month. Let's choose some of the long term plans that I have put in place. Read Quran every day, so I can reap the benefits of reading the Quran, of reading Allah's words. And up it more because generally, at least recently before Ramadan, I didn't read the Quran as much as I would love to. So Ramadan, I make sure to read it every single day. Try to read it every single day. Try your best, and also listen to Quran commentary every day to better understand the Book of Allah. So I'm reading this book. It's in like proper classical Arabic, which I don't speak in my day to day life, although I do understand. So it will be very kind of it's somewhat difficult to navigate because it is in Arabic and I do speak Arabic. I'm fluent in it. However, I am not a classical Arabic speaker. I'm more of a colloquial Emirati speaker. So I need to understand what the structure of the words and what the vocabulary and what these words mean and what they refer to and how the Arabs of old understood it. Back in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I listened to commentary on it, and it's audio commentary. I'm currently listening to Nu'man Ali Khan's concise commentary of the Quran. So it's audio commentary. You can just listen to it wherever you go, whatever you're doing, working out, driving the car, doing your chores. So it's really convenient and really beneficial. I'm learning a lot just from like one single video. You learn so much. You learn so much of like how people understood this book back then and how we can understand it now and what it means. And of course, this is only a part of the benefits of the Quran. I'm only seeing like parts of it. I'm never gonna fully experience the entirety of the benefits of the Quran because it's like saying when I swim in this sea, I'm touching all the water particles that are in the sea. No, you're only touching very, very, very few of the water particles as you're taking a swim and getting out because the sea's so big. That is the Quran's benefits. It's the entire sea. And when I'm listening to commentary and when I'm reading it, I'm only benefiting from these very little parts that I'm, touching upon. However, am I still wet after I get out of taking a dip into the sea? Of course I am. And this is also can be related to the benefit that I get. Even though I didn't really touch the entirety of the sea, I didn't touch upon all of it, I do get a lot of benefit to the point that, I feel that I have learned something, that I have benefited, that I did not waste my time. I actually spent it into something that's going to make me understand more, be more thoughtful, be more, just be better in every single way. And of course, after reading and listening, I have to apply it. It's not something that I am just, doing to get out of the way. No, it applies to my everyday life. Whatever I read in the Quran, I have to apply it myself. When I read about the mercy of, whatever, mercy of the people that are being talked about in the Quran or the mercy of Allah, I can apply that mercy in my own life, being nicer to people, being more merciful, being more forgiving. That's two things that I'm doing. I'm reading the Quran and I'm listening to commentary. And a third thing I'm doing actually every day is I'm working out every day. I'm doing a 5-minute workout. Yeah, that's it. A 5-minute workout that I can do every single day, save one day a week that I can consistently do so that, especially now in Ramadan when I'm fasting, I'm going to get tired. It's not ideal to have, a intense grueling workout at this time. And sometimes my lack of discipline gets to me and I don't do those workouts. So I've comprised this 5-minute workout, which I can do every single day, save one day a week, that I can benefit from, that I can really benefit from at least I'm staying healthy with, which is basically just 2 exercises. Well, 3 technically. 3 exercises. It's 5 minutes. That's all it takes. It's push-ups, leg raises, and crunches. That's it. I just do those 3 until I reach failure, which means I max out. I can't do more than I need to, than I can. So basically, check this out. In the beginning of Ramadan, I can do 25 push-ups in a row, like in the very first day, 25 push-ups in a row without stopping. I can do 25 without stopping. And I can do 25 leg raises in a row without stopping. And I can do 25 crunches in a row without stopping. However, and then, that's my absolute max. But now I can do it's like 5 days in, I can do about 30, So it's like I can do more, but I have to have one day a break for just growth. You can't work out every single day, the same muscles at least, and expect them to grow. No, you're gonna plateau. So you're gonna overwork them. So it's good to have 1 day a week to rest that muscle. So, which is, my chest and my triceps and my abs. That's the muscle groups that I'm working. And then just continue doing it the next day. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm being very consistent. It's pretty cool. At least so far. I'm going to update you guys on how much better I'm doing next week. So, and that's how my Ramadan is going. My fasting is going well. I'm enjoying it. Oh, and I think I mentioned this last week's episode, but I'm gonna say it right. I say it again now. Is that I actually cut out all sugar and junk food from my diet. Like anything that's not healthy for me, I'm not eating it. So that's what I'm actually doing. It's pretty much fasting and also eating clean. I'm eating super clean this Ramadan so that I can really just reap as much benefit as I can from this month. I have a 30 minute. I'm saying 30 minute. That's why I'm getting stuck on it. I have this 30-day period where I am supposed to reap as much benefit as I can. And one of those benefits is gonna be having a cleaner body. It's supposed to be this whole month is supposed to be a purification for mind, body, and soul, and that's what I'm doing. Just getting all three by doing these daily things. Eating well, listening to Quran, reading Quran, working out. I think I'm nailing it so far, and I really hope I'm doing well, and I really hope Allah accepts it from me. Accepts all of these works that I'm doing. In order to be a better person, a better Muslim, I really hope I'm rewarded for this in the dunya and the akhirah. Allahumma atina fi dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhab an-nar. So, in other news, these past few days, I watched a movie with my mom that she didn't watch and she wanted to watch, which was Pixar's Soul. Now, remember how I mentioned weeks back that I watched this movie. I watched Soul, this Pixar movie, because I never miss a Pixar movie. I have to watch every single one, except I think for The Good Dinosaur. I did not watch that yet. But anyway, I have to watch every single one because, Pixar movies are just pure works of art that are amazing, that always teach you something, that are always beautiful to look at, a candy for the eyes, delicacy to observe, and really just teaches you a lot. And this movie, the first time I watched it in the theater, I felt like I did not reap the entirety of the benefits of it, what I can learn from it, because I felt like I felt like I should watch it again to fully, to at least, not fully, to understand it properly, because I didn't understand it the first time I watched it. But now, rewatching it again, with my mom no less, I'm really getting to understand, what the movie is about. I'm really internalizing the message of the film. So, spoiler alert, but this is what the movie is. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna kind of go through it real quick. So, the movie starts with this character named Joe, who's a school teacher, a school music teacher, who has his passion. His passion is music, piano specifically, and jazz music. And he has not fulfilled what he wanted to do in life, which is, become a musician, become a successful musician. He's stuck as a school teacher, a school music teacher. So now he's 40 years old, and he finally gets his big break. He's gonna play, with this, well-known musician. He's going to play alongside her, and he's going to hopefully get his big break. But guess what? Life hits him in the face, and he dies. That's right. He dies. So he just kind of, a pure accident. He falls down a manhole, and he dies. And as his soul leaves his body, he is basically, he wants to get back to his body in order to live again, because he doesn't want to die, because he still has a lot to accomplish. He feels, and then he feels like his whole life he's been trying to accomplish something that he hasn't accomplished, and he's 4 years old. He finally gets to accomplish this thing. He finally gets to do what he wants to do, but it's taken away from him. So what it teaches you throughout the film, and his interactions with his with his other main character, 22, she's someone who accompanies him throughout this journey. They both have their own respective journeys and begin to understand life better. Begin to understand, what it is that makes people happy as they go through the movie. And I did not understand what it was. The film was kind of referring to, what the film was trying to put forward as a message. What the meaning what the cause of happiness basically is. If you watch the movie, this makes more sense than what I'm trying to say right now, because man, I'm butchering the whole thing. I'm trying to give you guys a proper description, but hey, I'll do what I can. I'm currently fasting right now. It's like the last hour of fasting in the day, so my blood sugar is low, and I'm really just I haven't had a drink of water in like over 12 hours and like 13 hours now, and I'm really just trying to get through this. But I'm fine. I'm feeling fine. Alhamdulillah. This is actually one of the better days. I feel very energized. Not like past few days. Some days were not good at all, especially since it's the very first few days in Ramadan. Anyway, so the film actually puts forward that happiness and joy comes in the little things of life. You don't have to accomplish a grand goal in order to be happy. You just have to take every day for what it is. Just enjoy the little things. Enjoy sitting at your piano and playing music notes. Enjoy sitting in front of your computer and writing an essay and, just doing whatever it is you're doing every day. Taking a walk, going for a drive, eating lunch, having breakfast, enjoying your time with family, with friends. That is where happiness lies, living in the moment. Just taking those little things and actually finding the joy in them. Understand that this is where happiness comes from. So that's the message of the movie. Now, I do agree with it somewhat. You need to have a grand goal that you're trying to achieve in life in order to be content. But yes, to be happy, there's a difference between happiness and contentment. Being content, you have to go and achieve a goal. And for me, that goal is to please my creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be the best Muslim I can be the best human I can be. And so long as I'm doing that every day, being better, I'm content. But to be happy, like, for example, to be content, I may have to follow this diet to be in better shape. But am I happy in the moment? Am I happy that I'm not getting to eat the chocolate that's right next to me on my desk? No. I want to eat that chocolate. I want to eat those chips. I want to drink that soda. I want to be happy in the moment. Now, there's a fine balance between being happy and content. I am following this diet in order to be content in the long term. But I do have to do things that are going to make me happy right now, whether it is being with friends, with family, practicing my hobbies, working out, going for a drive, going for a simple walk. These things that make you happy. But then there's the sugar type of happiness, which is eating chocolate, drinking soda, just doing something that's very gluttonous, if I can say, if I may. You should try your best to avoid that, but also indulge when you need to. Have those days where you just get to indulge and enjoy yourself. Eat that bag of chips, finish it off, and whatever it is you want to do. But it needs to be moderate. You need to keep in mind the long-term goal that you have. So anyway, that's my takeaway from that movie. Oh, and the movie also touches on depression somewhat. It shows you how depressed people can't get into that zone, zone where they're just flowing, where they're just, enjoying what they're doing so much that everything else in the world is a blur. When you're just, enjoying, for example, the example that they're giving in the movie is the piano. When Joe, the main character, is just, on his piano, just going off, playing notes, and really just getting into the zone, that flow that is uninterrupted. He really is just, enjoying himself. But there are those who can't even get into that flow. Not only that, there are those who don't have the drive to do anything. They feel like they're just lost. The movie touches on depression in that way. It's really interesting. I really recommend watching this movie and every other Pixar movie, because Pixar just knocks it out of the park every single time, consistently, year after year. Yeah, I really highly recommend it. And it's also kind of it was something important that they always display in their works. They show that art is creating something with some guidelines, but allowing the soul to take over to reveal the big picture. In other words, subtlety. The movies don't outright tell you what the message is, which is partly why I didn't get it in the first time I watched it. It is subtle. It gives you some, idea of what it is. It gives you just enough, but not too much and not too little. And it allows you, the viewer, the observer, to kind of create the mental picture in your head of what they're trying to put forward. It's the message that is received subtly, the one that hits hardest. If I outright tell you, you're supposed to enjoy the little things in life, you're going to be like, okay, straightforward. I can do that. But if it's shown in the way, in the presentation of a movie, of a film, like, a Pixar tier movie, where, the animation is just mind-blowing, the story is just amazing, and the message is so clear, yet it's very subtle, it hits you in a whole different level. And I'm really grateful to Pixar for the greatness that they're showing us with these films. So anyway, enough about that. Let's actually move on to other news and MMA. Let's see what's going on in the world of mixed martial arts, or actually the world of combat sports, not necessarily specifically MMA. Because guess what, guys? Sunday morning for us, it's Saturday night for in the US where it's taking place, but it's Sunday morning for us here in the UAE. Excuse me. The fights take place in Sunday morning, like very early morning, like at 5 a.m., which is fine. Generally, in the other days that are not Ramadan, because guess what? We already wake up at 5 to pray Fajr. There's a prayer, one of the 5 daily prayers we have as Muslims. We already wake up at that time. So it's okay, I can just wake up, pray, watch the movie. But now in Ramadan, it's different because I generally go to sleep after the Fajr prayer. I stay awake generally the whole night or get some sleep during the night, but I definitely sleep after Fajr prayer because, as soon as the call to prayer starts for Fajr, you have to stop eating because it's sunrise. And then you get to eat at sunset, about 13, 14 hours later here, 14 hours later in the UAE. So yeah, the fights take place early morning. And the fight I'm most excited about is Ben Askren versus Jake Paul, the boxing fight. Jake Paul is fighting Ben Askren because we all know Ben Askren is who. Let me actually let you guys know who he is first. He's an MMA fighter, a very accomplished MMA fighter whose base is wrestling. He's a world-class wrestler. He's been to the Olympics in 2008. He's top tier. However, he hasn't won an Olympic gold medal because it's super competitive. But still, it doesn't take away from his other accomplishments, which is winning the one championship world title, the Bellator world title, and now the UFC world title. Sorry, actually, no, he did not win that. He did not even come close to winning that. He fought in the UFC, and he didn't make it far because, he got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal in 5 seconds with a crazy flying knee, and he lost to Damian Maia by submission. And then he decided to retire. He's done enough, and he's just going to retire, go back to his wrestling academies, teach his students, live out the rest of his life. Retired. And respectable, honestly. He has had a good career. 19 wins, 2 losses. Amazing. That's amazing in MMA. So, especially with the world titles he's won in different organizations. So, he's fighting Jake Paul, and the reason Jake Paul he's fighting Jake Paul in the boxing match. And the reason Jake Paul picked Ben Askren to fight him in a boxing match is because he knows as we all do, that Ben Askren's striking is not the best. He's a good MMA fighter, but he's not a good striker. He's not a good boxer. He's a good wrestler, and that's what got him through his MMA career generally. So, that's what happened. Jake Paul picked him because he knows he's a bad striker, but if he beats him, if Jake beats Ben, he can say that I beat an MMA fighter. You know, he can literally say that. And, you know, it would be true, even though it's in a boxing match against an MMA fighter that is not really that good at boxing. But hey, that's what Jake Paul is doing, and that's his plan. But in the build-up so far, Ben has been punking Jake so bad. Ben is just being himself while Jake is trying to put up a front of him being like a tough guy and whatever. And man, it's just so interesting to see, so funny to see, and I've been enjoying the build-up. But the fight is gonna be Sunday morning, and I really hope Ben pulls this off. I don't want Jake to win. That's gonna suck. I really hope Ben pulls this off, gets that W. Anyway, now back to MMA specifically. Robert Whitaker is fighting Kelvin Gastelum at the same time, Sunday morning. It's going to be a good fight. I really like both guys. I don't want either of those guys to lose. But hey, one of them has to go, one of them has to lose, and one of them has to win. So good luck to both guys. But I really like Robert. I like Robert more because he's one of my favorite fighters, as you guys know from, I think, the last episode. And but man, I do like Kelvin. I don't want him to lose either. And then you've got on the undercard of that fight, Abdulrazak Al Hassan versus Jacob Malkoun. Now, Abdulrazak is a guy I'm following, another fighter I'm following. He's super talented. He has a 10-3 record. He's finished all 10 of his wins by knockout. This man is supremely talented. So good. But he has had a rough few years inside and outside the cage, and I hope he'll bounce back. You know, I think his last 2 fights were losses. I really hope he gets back in the cage and shows us that he's better than ever, that he's just back. And also outside the cage, he's had some problems facing, you know, assault allegations from, you know, assault allegations that kind of almost ruined his life, you know, because assault allegations are not something to be taken light. Sexual assault allegations, that is. And man, it's obviously not true. It's not real. That's why I'm supporting him, because man, someone who's going through something like that, nearly destroying their lives, it sucks. It really sucks. I feel for him, and I really want him to bounce back, be better than ever. Rabbi Wafka. Hope I see him do better. Really hope he does well. So yeah, these are the 3 fights I'm interested in seeing Sunday morning, and man, just an interesting morning that would be with these 3 fights. And if Robert beats Kelvin, for sure the next fight to make is Robert Whitaker versus Israel Adesanya for the belt. Because man, that's the only fight in middleweight that makes sense if Robert wins on Sunday. But Izzy beat him so bad the first time. I'm not sure if Robert has the tools yet to beat Izzy this time around. But hey, let's just wait and see. Robert is a champion level fighter. Let's see what he does. I think he can pull this off. So, that's it for today. This was the Candlelight Podcast by yours truly, Mohamed Abdalla. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys come back for more. And I need to go, because in about half an hour, I'm gonna go eat, because I've been fasting the whole day. So, I get to finally eat. Finally. Once again, failure to plan is planning to fail. See you guys in the next one. Peace.